It's the Seventh Lair podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 7th episode of the 7th Lair podcast. That was weird to say. After an extended extra week off, we are back. And of course, I am Kieran, your host, along with my co-hosts, Vengeance, Emmy, and Wildcat. How are we doing on this 3-week gap, guys? More to cover.
Hello.
Pretty
I'm doing
good.
very well.
Love to hear it. Been up to much
been a week.
exciting?
Oh,
Yeah,
mate,
it's Emmy. You sound like you want to go off on one. Do you want to tell?
mate. Oh my god. Okay, well, I mean, the only exciting thing that's been happening in my world is like music related, because Trivium, The Court of the Dragon, and Ice Nine Kills. Welcome to Horrorwood. Oh my god.
Let's
Solid
go.
contenders for album of the year, methinks.
I was gonna say, how are they? Because I haven't had a chance to listen to
Oh my
either
God.
of them yet.
Trivium never disappoint, to say the least.
Oh, love it.
And Iceland Kills album, I have expectations for them in terms of like a sound. And oh my god, they did not disappoint either, because it's a continuation of one of their albums from like a couple years ago. And
We love it.
holy crap, man.
The Trivium album is definitely top tier.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
A more lesser known band, Green Lung, and released an album yesterday. That's proper chilled out and real good as well.
Ooh, very nice. You guys just need to make me a list of albums I actually need to sit down and listen to, because I'm the worst when it comes to actually sitting down and listening to something.
Oh no, I feel you. I mean, I've been listening to nothing but like my favorite few bands for like the past like couple months. Been like nothing but like Avenged and like Mastodon and stuff, and now I'm actually listening to new stuff for once.
Yeah. I keep
So-
going on Iron Maiden binges, so you know.
Oh, so true. After Senjutsu was released, I don't blame you.
So my opinions on that album have changed a little bit now that I've actually sat down and listened to it like
Really?
20,000 times. A little bit, but it's still good. It's still up there for me. But
I mean,
you
it's
know,
not like my favorite album of theirs, but it was still really good.
I don't remember
I've
it.
taken. Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
I've taken the rose-tinted glasses off. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I see your flaws now, Senjutsu, but I still love you.
I think it's like the new Maiden hype that is just like, it just makes it
Oh.
seem so wonderful and glorious. And I mean, it is, but it's like, man, is nowhere near my favorite Maiden album.
Listen, the artwork was worth it just on its own.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about it.
I love Senjutsu Eddie. Oh my god.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah. Vengeance,
What have
how
I
have you
been-
been?
Oh yeah.
Hello. Been pretty good. Not much really to report on my end. Spent last weekend with Frankie. Went to my sister's, hung out there. He had a football game on Sunday. He
Nice.
and the
Oh,
Brandywine Warriors
Aw.
kicked ass.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go. Let's
Yes.
go.
I caught a cold, and working this week has been hell.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on
That
week
is
6 of
not
my
bad.
cold, so welcome to the party.
Oof.
Yikes.
I don't want to join this party, thanks.
This is not a party we wish to be part of. Yikes.
What about you guys?
Well, for me, I have essentially just been working on a lot of artwork. I've been doing a couple of custom death bats for people as per their request. I've been making custom craniums just for myself, just because there was a couple of ideas I had that I really wanted to try. So I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did a bit of a Majora's Mask crossover with one. So it was like the fierce deity cranium. I'm so proud of that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
I saw like your
when I-
Twitter icon.
yes,
like,
it is my Twitter
it's-
icon. He's my baby.
Oh,
wait.
mate.
I'm gonna go
obsessed,
check
right?
this out.
Go have a look at it. Go peek.
I am.
Obsessed.
I
love it.
And other than that, I have had absolutely no life and have been staying up. I've flipped my sleep schedule entirely. So this is like
Bro.
this is very early for me at the moment, and I've been playing games to keep me awake for this little death bot hunt. as I'm sure we're all aware of.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The chaos that thing has caused has been immeasurable, and I love it.
I'm taking a back seat. I'm just
It's
like, if
not
it
a
happens, it
death
happens.
bullying session.
Yeah, I'm still looking out for it. Like, if I don't get it, I don't get it, whatever. But it's kind of fun to just go, when's it going to pop up? How much sleep can I lose over this?
I guarantee it
I
pops up during
like,
recording
I
this.
feel like it was.
If
intended
it
to
does,
be
I
that
swear.
Evil. It was intended to be that evil. I bet it's like
It's
like,
evil.
how can we raise anxiety in every member of this entire server at once? And it's like, oh, this death bot will pop up whenever it feels like it.
Right.
Yeah, 15 to 30 hours, my arse. Anyway.
Jesus.
So, on that note, going on to today's episode, I think,
Yeah.
let's just put a little disclaimer here. It's probably going to be a shorter episode than the rest of what we've done before, and that's fine. Because today we're going into something that's still early in its life form, and that is the Sandbox. Exciting times ahead.
Yes, the metaverse is coming, and we're all invited.
Yeah, so we've even got a special guest on the podcast. They won't be speaking live, but they have provided us with some videos. So if you're in the Event Sevenfold Discord and you pay attention to the Sandbox thread, you will be very aware of Arima. And they've given us a selection of videos later on, which we'll play towards the end of the podcast, that gives more of an insight into Sandbox. Because they're great, and thank you so much for that. But
Yeah,
before we
so-
get onto that, what is the Sandbox?
Well, I might be able to tell you. So I'm gonna give you a bit of brief history on, like, what Sandbox is and how it got to this stage, because the company behind it was actually founded back in 2011. Believe it or not, it's actually been quite a long time, so 10 years.
Wow.
So the company name is Pixel, and they were founded in 2011. They are based in San Francisco, but they also have studios in Buenos Aires in Argentina. And they also produce games based on IPs like Garfield and Snoopy, like characters that everyone knows, right? You guys know about Garfield and Snoopy, right?
Yeah.
What's a Garfield? No, I'm just kidding.
Garfield's a mouse.
Yes, he's absolutely a mouse.
That's why shit
No,
out of the way.
Last time I checked,
everyone's-
it was like an Anthro toaster or something.
God. Anyway, so Sandbox initially started. Pixel started games in 2012 on mobile platforms. They have 40 million global installs today, which, wow, that's quite a lot. And the Sandbox mobile game even got Best Game of the Year from Apple. It would later get an Android release in February 2013, and it surpassed 10 million downloads in 2014. So, not too shabby, not numbers to just, push aside. Then they announced the Sandbox Evolution in 2015, so they partnered with Sony, Bandai Namco, and DreamWorks in the following years. They got to 40 million downloads and 70 million player creations in 2018. And the Sandbox Evolution game was a 2D pixel-based mobile game where you could build your own world, play with all kinds of different physics, you could have different characters, and you could share all your creations online. So it's very similar. It's the groundworks to how we get to the Sandbox that we know of today. So you can see where the foundation is starting to build here.
If a dish you mind me just chipping in here, I mean, I find
Go
it kind of fascinating that it's been around for such a long time. Because when I think of
Right?
Sandbox, I think of something like relatively recent, like
Yeah.
not just because I heard about it recently, but it's just sort of like, well, when I think of like Sandbox and where it is now, I'm like, oh, that was a thing like last year or the year before. But
Yeah.
no, so I just find that really interesting.
Well, this is the interesting bit, because it was only back in May of 2018 that Sandbox 3D on the blockchain is announced at the Pocket Gamer Connect conference, with players being able to register and browse content in October of 2019, and then just before that was possible in May of 2019, the project received a $2.5 million boost. So that's huge.
Jesus.
Like, this is where things start coming together. And obviously, if you know, NFTs kind of became like a big deal. They started in 2017 with CryptoPunks, and kind of stayed relatively unknown until recently, when it's had a massive boost since like May of this year, give or take. So this kind of stuff has been slowly in the works for a while, and all of a sudden it's been shoved right into the limelight because everything's coming together. People are realizing the utility behind these things. And honestly, I just think that's beautiful. We've come so far, even if half of us have only been here for a couple of months.
Oh, I mean, I feel like there's still a bit of like FOMO in the air, or people thinking I'm too late to this. But people are still so early in the game, to be honest.
I was gonna say, like, we may be 4 years in, but we're still early. Like, there's so many people that haven't picked up on this yet.
Exactly.
But yeah, so as of January of this year, 2021, the Sandbox 3D has achieved 84,000 user accounts registered, 200,000 users across Discord, Twitter, Telegram, etc. They have a MetaMapverse value of $25 million, having sold $20 million in sand, which is the currency, which I will briefly touch on in a minute, and $2.5 million of virtual land. So lands are the little areas where you can build. We'll touch on that in a minute. And there's also a public beta, which released all the main tools for players to experiment with and make content. So this includes being able to build your own pixel avatars and assets. So if you remember, Avenged released the backcountry car and the backpack. It was things like that. And you can even animate them using Vox Edit. So that's really cool. We will go more in depth in that later on. Coming soon, we don't really have a date, because as things are still in the works, this thing takes time. But coming soon is the public alpha, where players can get a look at the play to earn system that's being implemented, and then what they describe as the ultimate blockchain sandbox experience. So obviously, if you know anything about sandbox games in general, as in the genre, you can build anything. This is taking that and putting it on steroids and letting everyone have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, like things like I feel like Minecraft is what comes to mind for a lot of people when they hear the word sandbox and stuff. And
absolutely.
You know how massively popular Minecraft got.
Yeah,
and it's
this is the thing,
popular to this day.
Yeah. But this is the one thing, because, Minecraft is one of those games where you can do literally anything, and this is taking, like, everyone's favorite elements of that and building on it. Like, you can build your own avatars rather than just, you can make skins on Minecraft, but you can literally have 3D models built and with all the details you want. Like, there's so much to this, and you can animate things. If you can think of it, you could probably build it. It's like Lego, but on the blockchain. It's better.
Damn.
So good.
This is Chad Logo,
Yeah, and I have a couple of quotes from CEOs of Sandbox. So Sebastian Borget, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name.
Don't worry about it.
They say
done any better.
They say our vision for the future of decentralized gaming is that NFTs are a catalyst for mass adoption. Players will benefit from NFT interoperability across games, giving items a value beyond their utility based on factors such as an emotional attachment to their creator, the fame of previous owners, or track record across games. And then we also have Arthur Madrid, who says, the Sandbox offers everyone access to a new economic model where players and creators fully participate in the value creation chain and can benefit from the new paradigm where content is the platform. So I think those are some very interesting quotes that are quite nice to talk about. So what do we think so far?
I mean, to be honest, I don't have like that much knowledge about Sandbox, so it's still very new to me, but it's just very interesting to think that, a very popular concept such as like a sandbox game mixed with like NFTs and stuff, and mashing that together with the other things you mentioned, like animating your avatars and 3D models and stuff. I just think that's like God, it is so
Yeah.
wicked.
And it's also really cool because they mentioned the economic side of things. Like you can,
Mhm.
what I'm assuming you can do is you can make your own assets and then sell them. So if you're really into making things with like pixels, like, pixel art stuff, you could, make these 3D models of whatever you wanted. And then, if people like them, they could buy them, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And then you can use those assets, for their intended purpose, whether it's just cosmetic or I imagine you could probably build assets like a car that moves or something. I don't know. Obviously, there's lots of details that need to be ironed out as, development occurs, but
It's all
there
very
are so
promising,
many
though.
exactly. There are so many possibilities for this, and with NFTs as well, um, or the blockchain stuff, just with proof of ownership and everything.
Yeah.
There's so much you could do.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
know that I don't know how related this is, but I heard something about like Steam banning games with like NFTs, NFT related
oh,
stuff in them.
yeah.
Yeah, big
No, I
yikes.
personally feel that's a terrible move because,
Yeah,
the analogy that's always thrown around is things like Counter-Strike skins or Fortnite skins.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
buy it, you get it, like, you're stuck with it forever. You can't sell it on if you no longer want it. But if it was on the blockchain, you could go, okay, well, I have the skin, but I don't really want it anymore. And I could sell it to someone else, and then they have the proof of ownership to say it's theirs now. And I know
Exactly.
there are some games that, do have their own marketplace like that, but,
Yeah.
blockchain just gives it that backing that I think would really benefit.
Even to
Yeah,
break it down a
like
bit, I think a big company, a huge company like Steam, turning down. So first of all, turning down like NFTs or something like that in their gaming process, it's fighting change, and the gaming world, just like all entertainment or all digital stuff these days, is ever changing, ever growing. So, firstly,
exactly.
just saying no to it seems like a bad idea on that premise. But also,
Yeah.
they're not losing out on anything by having it there. It's not like they're going, "Oh, this is we have to choose between NFT based games or normal based games." What they're basically doing is they're cutting out part of their future audience by doing this. Like they're not losing anything by having it. So to me, it makes no sense as a
Yeah,
choice as a
exactly.
brand. Like it's like people say NFTs are the future. That's very possible. Um, Either way, you're fighting change where you could be making more sales very easily. I don't understand the choice here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't be
exactly.
surprised if one of these days they come back to that statement or that decision and
Yeah.
rethink it, or otherwise just dismantle it entirely.
Yeah.
Because I definitely feel like there's like some it's like lack of
Yeah.
education there. I don't
Exactly.
know how yeah, I don't know how spontaneous the decision was. If it was just sort of like a flick of the wrist thing, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing, like, I can, in a sense, I can kind of see why they've made the decision because if you go onto the comment section of pretty much any of those articles, I read a Kotaku article that was just full of, pointing out that, oh, NFTs are scams, or, there's
It's
there's a
money
lot of
laundering.
yeah, it was kind of that sort of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely feel that, yes, I can see why people think that, but it's a lack of understanding and a lack of education on the topic. That's why we're sat here doing this show, right?
Exactly. It's
It,
like I see people like on Twitter especially because I mean I have a lot of like mutuals on there, and I see people being like retweeting these massive like posts about how NFTs are money laundering and it's a scam and it's
yeah,
only for rich people and blah blah blah.
yeah,
The same thing that I've heard for like a year and a half now. I'm
yeah.
just like, God, where do I even start, bro?
Yeah, when utility, like, being able to use NFTs in games like Sandbox, when that utility becomes apparent, I think people will start kind of changing their minds, especially when you've got Avenged doing all kinds of crazy perks with their NFTs as well. When people start seeing that, I think that people will, you know, start to they'll start to see that it's not just throwing money at artwork. I mean, you could say that buying any kind of art is a scam, really, right? Like, if
Well,
you
yeah,
buy digital
exactly.
art, it
It's
is the
like I
same
could
thing.
It's like I could scribble a line on a piece of paper and try to sell it off for $1,000. Someone could call me a scammer. Like, bro.
Yeah. But
God.
anyway, we're going off on a tangent, I think.
We're very
Let's
passionate about this.
yeah, I mean it's a fair point that deserves being raised. But
I agree.
let's go on to more positive topics and let's talk about what the sandbox actually is and what it actually does. So what you can do on Sandbox, you can create an account at sandbox.game for free, and you can enjoy land and games and content created by various people. So we already know that Avenged have their own plot of land. There are many NFT projects out there who are also getting into the game. We'll talk about that later, but there are a lot of places you'll be able to go. You can visit them for free when everything's all up and ready, and you can enjoy the content they make. When will it start? Well, as I said, there is a public alpha coming. We do not know when. When we know, I'm sure there will be a big announcement, which will be very lovely. So about the game itself, it's a gaming platform. You can use the free tools provided to create your own assets and games and sell them. You can create games in land, which is a big plot of like your own little section of the map. You can build whatever you want in there. You can build games, like action games, adventure games, and if you've bought land, you can publish them. There's Game Maker, which is available for creating game experiences, and Vox Edit for creating the assets. There's a limit to the number of lands that can be issued. I believe the limit is 166,464. It's quite a lot, but you know, they're all different sizes. Sale to buy land, so you can. So the game website hosts sales, but you can also buy them secondary on OpenSea. Premium lands are a thing. They are located near famous companies. So say, Bored Apes. You know, they have a big plot of land. I think they would come under like premium land, just if you wanted like a plot of land right outside theirs. You know, so they have this one big square and then you've got one tiny little square next to them. I think that counts, something like that. Or I don't know, just take any big company. There's a grid we'll show you in a bit. But they'll announce when there's sales and things like that. So what is Sand? So Sand is its own cryptocurrency, and that's used to purchase land and the assets. It is available on exchanges like Binance. There is a guide on that in the pinned messages in the Sandbox channel in Avenged Sevenfold server. And you can also buy it on OpenSea, as I've said. So, yeah, I hope that was a somewhat comprehensive rundown. We will go back over these topics in more detail with Arima's lovely videos.
Yeah.
Do we have any
I
questions?
think for now, it's the important. That's not the best word.
Yeah,
The
kind of
best
just the
thing,
main.
I should say.
Yeah.
The main thing to sort of water it down for now, because you know we could go on forever about this. You know, it's like I
Yeah.
think just explaining it to the best of our ability, for the audience that we cater to. I think
Yeah.
it's a good thing. So you don't worry about it if it's not like fully in detail, like some Wikipedia article type beat. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, there's quite a few projects that are getting involved in Sandbox. Do we know of any? Is there any you guys would like to talk about?
Yeah, I've got a handful that we'll quickly talk about. Just want
Handful, that's promising.
I want to just cap off what we said so far. With my opinions of Sandbox, that it's like we say, we're not saying that we know everything because it's still really early on. We're not experts in this field, but I just think the possibility of it is so exciting. And as it grows over the next few years, I think we're gonna see some massive things from it. We already know Avenged are planning a couple of games in there, or maybe like 4 games in there, so I'm pumped for that. Of course, as a fan of Avenged anyway, obviously, but it's just showing what the capabilities that we can be having. I believe I heard, now don't quote me on this, I'm not sure if it's in Sandbox or not, but I believe the Killers NFT are having a game where you use your characters, so NFTs as your characters, Well, again, I'm not sure if that's in Sandbox or out of Sandbox, so don't quote me on that. But yes, I do have information on 3 recent projects speaking about it. So before I go into this, I will do a little word for you, or a little phrase. So I might mention DOAs. No, I won't. I'll mention DAOs quite a few times. Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And to clarify what that means, so I don't have to go through it every time, it's an act according to a predefined set of rules, like most organizations. However, unlike centralized organizations, DAOs do not rely on trust to any third party. DAO contracts are immutable and cannot be manipulated or misinterpreted. There we go. So, the first one is just basically a few sentences about, and that is called the United Metaverse Nation. And just a quick side note about
sounds
them.
like some strange futuristic country thing.
It does.
I mean, the little bit of information I got on that is it's going to be like that in kind of like the decentralized world. They said that they've recently been focused on building their 3D universe and coding the DAO to implement a voting system. And a voting system is determined by the number of passports that the particular people hold and their role within UMN. They also recently mentioned they've purchased 36 lands in the Sandbox game and have some pending offers into Decentraland for 24 parcels. Their goal is to be the first DAO nation across different metaverses, which is very interesting. Again, that's only really a short bit of information about that, but crossing over between Sandbox game and Decentraland is an intriguing possibility.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Ooh.
On to more information. So that's only like a little tease, it seems. There's Project WITH, or what's called Project With. They recently mentioned that they're going to enter the Sandbox metaverse to build a virtual football world. Project With has purchased 36 lands in a 6x6 estate in the Sandbox metaverse. And Project With will create a digital football space, including a football stadium and a gallery to feature With's partner football clubs and players.
Wait,
So-
so we're gonna have like little itty bitty teams and oh my god.
No,
That
no,
actually
you gotta,
sounds fun.
you gotta hear me out. Can we get Leeds United in there, please?
Oh dear.
Holy crap, dude.
I do remember when they say football, they could very well to us mean American football.
Oh no, don't break my heart like that.
Australian football.
Hey, I hate football, but I love American
What do you mean
football, so-
Australian football?
Aussie football is better. I don't care what any of you have to say.
I'm imagining a weird hybrid sport. Okay, anyway.
It's not soccer. It's like grab the ball, tackle people. That's a
Grab the
That's
ball.
called rugby.
So it's
That's called rugby.
it's another football that's not used with the foot.
Rugby is completely separate. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Okay,
argue
we're gonna get on a tangent.
Let's go back to Sandbox.
So
We'll have that debate after the episode.
Woon Jang Lee, the CEO of Project With, said, "Time for metaverse is coming. Entities in real world are rapidly joining the metaverse to create interchangeable values for the real and virtual world. This is why we would like to work with the Sandbox. The Sandbox will bring us chances to build and create With's ecosystem and NFTs in the metaverse. Participants in With's land will enjoy a wide variety of sports-oriented experiences, including collecting NFTs and playing games." So, yeah, that's all we know about Project With thus far, but they've got an idea and they're rolling with it, and it sounds exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm down with it. I'm down.
And last
I
of all,
too am down.
recently announced by a certain Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
The Snoop Private Party Pass is a limited token which gives you access to step into Snoop Dogg's lifestyle. With the Party Pass, you can attend Snoop's private metaverse party and get access to exclusive NFTs, priceless experiences, and a chance to have Snoop Dogg perform an exclusive concert on your land. There will only ever be 1,000 passes available. The Snoop Dogg Private Party gives you something I've already. Well, they repeat the same thing twice. Alongside Snoop's mansion, and hang out with friends old and new. Well, yeah, you get access to exclusive NFTs as well as Snoop's mansion in the NFT
I
world.
want that. I want that. I want to hang out with Snoop Dogg. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you may as well do it right.
Casually hanging out with Snoop Dogg in the Snoop
Right?
Mitch.
Sounds amazing, doesn't it?
I want to go to the
It really
Snoop
does.
mansion.
the sandbox area for him, you get the chance to become Snoop Dogg himself thanks to handcrafted
What?
voxel avatars that can be used
Oh
in the
my
Sandbox
God.
metaverse.
I need that. I
I'm
need
gonna
that.
animorph into Snoop Dogg, yo. Oh my
Yes.
God.
So that's
Holy
a
crap.
taste of what's to come, and that's again, like we said before, this is early shit, man. This is
I've also
like
just had one more thought about a project. Obviously, craniums. We talk about.
Oh,
I know they've
yes.
got a plot in Sandbox, and they showed us like a teaser of their the voxel art, but we often when they do the bone shakes, they have a I think it's Decentraland they use, but they have a plot in, well, they have one of the skulls who has this nice like temple and nice party room and everything. So I'm just imagining like, what they're gonna do with their plot if we have such a rave in the Bone Shakes. When this officially gets released, just imagine how big that's gonna be.
Oh my God.
for real.
That's gonna be
There
mental.
is so much potential, like with it, that's not even been unlocked yet.
Yeah, it's so cool. So cool.
So should we go to Arima's videos to explain it
We shall
better with
indeed.
beautiful visuals?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
allow the master themselves to show us how it's done.
Yeah, so like we mentioned before, massive thank you to Arima for doing these videos for us. They are the know-it-all in the Sandbox chat and the Vincent Fog Discord,
The
where this
goats!
podcast was obviously
Absolutely
formed.
great.
So yeah, we won't talk through his next however minutes, but we'll pop the videos on for you now.
Enjoy!
right, those are the videos complete. And once again, massive shout out to Arima. They are so helpful, those videos. And as they
So
point out
good.
in the
Thank you.
videos, if you're not in the Event Sevenfold Discord, join up and chat in the Sandbox with Arima. And if you're already in there, then yeah, go to the Sandbox channel and chat with Arima. They're more than willing
Yeah.
to chat you through it.
Yay.
And yeah, their project, what they're creating, looks so good, and I'm excited to see more.
I love it. I love the museum they got going. I'm so excited to see how it continues to develop. Like, this is the one thing I love. You can build anything and you can see it develop and you can see people's new ideas. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
It's very
100%.
beautiful.
So that concludes what we're going to say about the Sandbox today. We hope you learned something at least. And like we say, it's still early to the game. More will be coming out as we go. I'm sure if we did this podcast in a year's time, we'd have a lot more new things to talk about because it's just ever growing.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So before we head off, we've got our trusty floors to talk through. Felicia, are you at the ready?
I don't think they're gonna.
Do you want me to cover? Oh, yeah.
Wildcat, are you at the ready?
I'm at the ready.
On my first whistle.
I need to
Jesus
cover,
Christ.
I shall cover. Alrighty. Tell me when you are ready, and I will speak the wisdom that is the floors.
I am all set, my
Yeah.
friend.
Okay, so at the top, as per usual, CryptoPunks. They've gone down a little. They're at 91.95 ETH.
Crikey,
Ah,
drop.
very affordable now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know they went down a
Right
little
through
bit.
the thick
Let me just dig around my sofa for some spare change.
Look at if I look
Anyway.
at enough jackets, maybe I'll have enough change for a crypto.
We'll pull in together, it's fine. But yes,
I'll mortgage my
91.95
house.
ETH. Yeah, 91.95 for CryptoPunks. Bored Ape Yacht Club at 34.8. Bored Ape Kennel Club at 2.33. Mutant Ape Yacht Club at 3.798. The Wicked Craniums at 0.203. They've gone down a little bit, but we'll get there. Got the Wicked Stallions at 0.018.
Ooh.
Bones Club Heritage at 0.06 with the newer bones still minting, I believe. Sean Keaton, a very popular artist who we've all been talking about lately, he's at 0.12. The Winterton Collection is at 0.32. We have Birdhouse at 0.02. Koala Intelligence Agency at 0.276. I can't read. Lazy Lions at 1.47. Cryptoads at 6.6. The Ethalians at 0.038. And to finish up our list today, we have the Cool Cats at 9.5.
Oh, yeah.
They've dipped a little bit from their 10 ETH achievement, but you know what? They're still doing well. And I say good on them.
With the price of ETH rising past $4,000 again, some
Oh,
fluctuation
absolutely.
was bound to happen.
Jesus.
Yeah,
it's not a
I
sign
mean,
of a
let
fail.
me just check exactly what the price of ETH is right now. It is $4,088. It's just changed. It was 90. It's gone down.
Oh my god.
But you know that's quite a lot.
Yeah,
So-
for real. Cool.
Plus, gas is a bitch.
Right. Always.
It's so true.
Always.
Now, I'm going to go do, just before we drift off, a little spoiler for next week, because there will be another one added to the floor, because a particular company I'm now, well, a project that I'm working for, or helping out with, should I say, I'm very excited for the Wall Street Bulls that will be minting this
Hey!
Tuesday
Ooh,
at 4:20
very
p.m.
nice.
Eastern Time.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, so
Hype.
keep an eye out for those, is what I say. Great Discord,
Yeah.
great
Very
community.
hyped.
But yeah, that
Yeah.
will close us off for today. So everyone, thank you again for tuning in, and we apologise for the week delay. We will be back next week. So we're not going to wait another 2 weeks for next one. We're going to make up time for a Halloween special next week.
Hey!
Keep an
Yeah.
eye on our
Fun.
Twitter, because I will be posting every single day from Monday through till Sunday next week of a special spooky NFT project each day. we'll be highlighting them, and that will be exciting, and you will love it.
It's time to get spooky. Let's
Yes.
go.
Spooky time.
See you next Saturday, and take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.